Hello, and welcome to my presentation of Checkpoint Charlie. My name is Roger Palmer, and this presentation was created for JU's Management of Information Technology class, DSIM 360, conducted in the summer of 2013 with Professor Mattia guiding the class. Checkpoint Charlie is the name of my iPhone app that I envisioned to make campuses safe, one person at a time, quickly. Right now, no one else has developed an application to assist security officers in determining who should be allowed on campus. There are some issues, but none that make this a mission impossible. This app is very useful and would help security officers do their job quickly. If you've ever entered campus at night, you know that sometimes you have to wait in line while the security officer checks the occupants of the car in front of you. This is no fun, but you do want the officer to do a good job so you can feel safe on campus at night. This app would alleviate that wait while still preserving the integrity of the campus. Problem: securing the campus. By checking ID cards, the campus security officer determines who should and who should not be allowed on campus. The problem is that those cards do not have an expiration date or an issue date. The security officer must search the database to determine if the ID card holder should be allowed on campus or not. Solution: the CS ID card app. The benefit of using this app: it quickly identifies the card holder and determines whether or not they're allowed on campus or not. It can be utilized by anyone restricting access to a building or grounds, whether it's a university, an elementary or secondary school, or a business. The target market would be those security officers controlling access to buildings or grounds. The picture on the left is a picture of the iPhone showing the icon for the CS ID app. The middle screen picture shows the disclaimer page showing that it's to be used for official use only. The picture on the right shows with the ID being entered. This can be either entered manually or by swiping the card through a card reader. The top left shows a choice for users concerning the ID that has been entered. The upper right shows a screen that would be received if you chose campus access, and either approved or disapproved would be highlighted to indicate whether the individual is allowed on campus or not. The lower left picture shows vehicle information for that ID entered, and the lower right shows housing information. This last picture shows the information retrieved if you ask for class schedule. All of these screens would be utilized by a campus security officer at one time or another. And this is all information that is routinely gathered and stored by the school, and it's already in their database. This app just gives the officer a way to quickly access the information when it's needed, rather than return to the office, log into the computer, and search for the information. This screen depicts the business process as it is currently being done at Jacksonville University. This screen depicts the business process as it would be done with the app in place and working. The target market for this app would be very small. It's only useful to any university, school, or business that have the ability to monitor and control those entering the business or grounds.
While our company is very young, the idea is very much in demand. One of the hardest tasks assigned to the security officer is determining who is and who is not allowed on school campus. By utilizing the school's own database, our application quickly determines if an individual is supposed to be there or not. Our application also gives a visual to the officers to determine if the identification card is being held by the owner of the card or if it's been stolen. Right now, there's no other apps that use the school database. This is advantageous in two ways. First, it cut the cost for the consumer. Most expensive part of the application is creating the database, and this is already done. Two, cuts down on implementation time. Again, the database is already there. All we have to do is tap into the database, and the database is already being currently updated for the school usage, which means that the security officer always has an up-to-date record at his disposal. Using SWOT and Porter's five force analysis indicates that the time is right and the company is perfectly poised to make an impact in the market at this time. To accomplish a forecast of the revenues and costs, there are assumptions that must be made. At the top of this slide, you see those assumptions. Based upon those assumptions, you can see the forecasted revenues in the first 5 years in the middle of the page. And at the bottom of the page, we take those same forecasted revenues and vary the price per unit and vary the percentage of increase over every year to show you the difference that can be made in the 5 year profit column.
This slide talks about loan payments. Again, the top is the assumptions and the bottom changes to money borrowed and interest rate to give an idea of how those changes would affect the payment. The graph on the left shows profits projected out into 5 additional years if no changes were made in the assumptions first shown. The second graph shows how a 10% increase in sales could alter the profits for each price point charted. This map gives an indication of how many schools, 183 in Duval County alone, along with the number of people, 124,918 children, as well as 14,059 employees, that would be positively impacted by the district purchasing this product for their school district. In conclusion, it just makes sense to market this app. While the target market is small, there is no one else doing this right now. Relatively low cost because of using already existing databases make this an ideal app for school districts and universities, as well as businesses that have a closed building or grounds. There is grant money available to help defray the cost. The company is currently at the right place and the right time to take advantage of a need that is not currently being met.